Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We are grateful to have you with us as always. We are so overwhelmed and humbled by the love and support, uh, the sharing of how our organization is helping people, has helped people, uh, to really just reassure, kind of like a checkpoint of, are we doing the right things? Are we going down the right path? And that can be, uh, it gets challenging because there's so many competing priorities that we have to do every day that we have to, we have to decide what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. What is okay if we don't get it done today? Um, and what is, critical? Like, uh, what do we have to do? And as we evaluate our ourselves, that's where we start to really find some introspection on, are we doing what we like, what we love to do? Are we not? If we're doing what we like and love to do, and we find ourselves with or at a fork in the road, we can go one way or the other way, and each way could end up at a different place. The one thing I've learned and we've learned over time as human beings is we don't have all the answers. Nobody's perfect. Helping feels so much better than receiving. And if we truly love what we're doing, not just as a hobby, but something that's bigger than us as a human, or bigger than our family, bigger, just bigger, where we have the opportunity to share, to talk, to laugh, to love, to cry, to chuckle. It it becomes apparent over time that we find out what that is. And when we find out what it is, for example, with me, that's what Voices for Voices is. It is a way to share and to help people all across the world. 800 cities, 80 plus countries. And those are just the analytics we can see. We know that there's a lot of analytics we can't see. And then number one, I want to give a big thank you to a, a couple different people. One is Nicole Hagee. She helped manage the 1994 figure skating women's gold medalist Oksana Baiul's visit to the area. And we had a date and uh, some times that looked like they would be good for both of us, or the three of us. So Oksana, Nicole, and myself. And then kind of at the last minute, my plans changed where I wasn't going to be able to do that. We weren't going to be able to do the interview with Oksana when we agreed on a certain date. And Nicole and Oksana are just incredible people, kind, gentle, caring. They found time in between arriving at the airport, throwing out a ceremonial first pitch at the Rubber Ducks game, among uh, other visits and meetings that she had planned ahead of time. So I want to thank Nicole and Oksana. It was so awesome. I've never met an Olympian before, let alone a gold medalist. And on uh, that interview, you want to check that out. Uh, it's just incredible. I talk a little bit about how the Winter Olympics kind of was a thing in our family that we would watch, and there were certain events that we would watch more than others that garnered our attention, and one was figure skating. And so I was 13 at the time, and Oksana was in Lillehammer, Norway, uh, competing for an Olympic medal. And I can remember vaguely the program uh, that was completed by Oksana, and then Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding and all that. Those things were going on or had gone on, and so that's what made, I think, figure skating. It brought in a different crowd, more individuals that might not have an interest in that. But anyways, I talked about how that was something that we really did do as a family, with my mom, my dad, and my sister, and myself. That's what we would do. It was something we look forward to. So to be able to like meet somebody as talented on the rink, on the ice, but who also has battled alcoholism, and she's on her recovery path. And that's what she was in town to talk about. and it's just really incredible. Again, just have the opportunity to sit down and have a discussion. Uh, it was awesome. And then I also want to thank uh, Anna McAdams, Elliston Berry, Mark McAdams, uh, Siobhan Ludick, and Matt and Emma, and so many others that had a hand in communicating with Senator Ted Cruz, with his campaign, with his staff, to have the opportunity to meet Senator Ted Cruz in person in DC, to have an interview with him, to talk about his passion of helping and the Take It Down Act, which is not Take It Down law. He talked all about that, and we have several episodes with Elliston, the daughter, the uh, really the Take It Down law uh, was modeled after uh, some unfortunate turns of events. And so to have an opportunity to meet, to talk to, and to present Senator Ted Cruz with our annual Voice of the Year award. The past 2 years, I went to Tyrus. You may know him, heard of him. And then last year, I went to Elliston Berry because she has just become so brave and confident talking about her story, wanting to help others. And I had a small part to be able to meet Senator Cruz. And so for our show, our podcast, to have that opportunity and for Senator Cruz to be so kind and generous with his time and his entire staff that cleared time for him to do our interview. And so I want to thank all those people, and there's many more that were behind the scenes over the past months for those. And so those were big events, big interviews, big whatever you want to call it. But they're both individuals, they're both human beings too. So that's how we were able to have conversation. Doesn't matter if we agree with somebody's politics or not. This man, Senator Cruz, championed this effort, this Take It Down Act effort, took it from his home state of Texas to Washington, D.C., where things are notoriously take forever to get uh, get things to the floor for a vote and have bipartisan support, especially in the times we live in. Just incredible to watch those events and the evolution over the last year and a half, 2 years, and to be just a small part. It, I mean, it's just very humbling. and so I'm in a gratitude, thankful mood, um, because sometimes we take things for granted. We think we should do one thing and not the other, and the other ends up being the better thing, or we think we are doing the right thing as much as possible, only to find out that it wasn't, and to find out that there's nothing a person can do to change anything. That series of events, once they get kicked off and started, it's hard. Life is hard. It's hard for every single one of us. And I am happy that going on going on 8 years ago, I decided to swallow my pride and ego and everything and get a lot of help, get a lot of mental health help. And I'm stronger for that now. Well, I am not having the best of days. I find that praying helps, remembering that nobody's alone, and even me, I'm not alone. That somebody somewhere is, or may know somebody, or may happen down the road, a situation or an event or series of events, to make that makes us feel like, well, what's the point? And then that's when we reach inside. We dig deep, deep, deep into our heart, and we say, at least I say, God, Jesus, what am I here for? What do you want me to do on my short time on earth? And through good times, through bad, through good decisions and decisions that, right? If you look back and say, "Oh, I wish I would have did that." Well, it's not always possible to do that, or to look ahead, or to think something is okay when it might not be. So when I reach deep down into my heart, as much turmoil, as much stress, as much, you name it, that will be going on for an amount of time. that I'm not sure what it will be. And I just say thank you to you and every viewer, every listener. I don't care if you only listen to 1 second, 1 millisecond, you watch one episode or over 317 episodes. I say thank you for giving an organization the ability to reach across not just county lines, city lines, state lines, borders, country lines, oceans, islands, and allow us the opportunity to come to you. And so when I said earlier about, you sometimes start wondering, what are we meant to do on earth? We're not animals. It's not eat, sleep, repeat, eat, sleep, repeat. So for me, the higher power is God. And that's where I put my trust. Ask for help, ask for forgiveness, ask for mercy, ask for grace, ask for a little bit of light. What he's given us at Voices for Voices is more than I could have imagined. It is truly remarkable what we've done as an organization, the people we've reached, the stories we hear. I I was reading a letter of support. It was sent to me. I was brought to tears. I have emotion, so turn the channel if you don't want to hear more about this. And so as I was reading this letter of support, sometimes we can get in the weeds and get so into every little every little thing. Sometimes we don't take our head up and look up when we're walking instead of looking down. And when I read that letter, I I have no words for it. Man, I'm getting goosebumps right now, even just talking about it and thinking about it. Because it's not a pat on the back. That's not what it's for. There were things that I hoped and dreamed and wanted to do with our Voices for Voices staff and organization. Basically the same thing. Uh, and I haven't taken my head out of the weeds very much. And so I question and I question and I question and I question. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And so through that letter support and others and God, the feedback is, what is Justin Allen Hayes? What is he here to do? He's here to help an organization reach at least 3 billion people and help 3 billion people. So he's opened doors. He gave us the opportunity to talk to Oksana Baiul and Senator Ted Cruz. He opened a door to give us the opportunity to interview Ramona Robinson and Temple Grandin. And those are just a few of the guests. And so when I rest my head at night, I thank God for who I am, what I've been able to do, try doing, the energy, the motivation. And this isn't some highly lucrative organization. So that's why I just wanting to thank each and every one of you, no matter how small or big of a part you've played with us. If you're subscribing and you're liking and following and sharing and all those free things to do, you are helping us reach more people. And so I have comfort knowing that God has me and every single one of us in the palm of his hands. It's because of him that we're here. And I also want to thank my parents, my mom and dad, that they gave me the opportunity to be born. Some aren't, for one reason or another. And so when I think of, well, why am I still here? What is there left for me to do? Uh, Voices for Voices comes back in subtle ways, in big ways. and we can't do it without you. I believe our organization, our TV show and podcast is making a difference, is making a positive difference, is helping people, even if some look at numbers of subscribers and followers and look at that. All it takes is just the one. Just the one. And the letters of support I've been receiving the last couple of days are just other indicators that Voices for Voices is something that's very near and dear to me. And it's not for me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this to help. I'm doing this so that my daughter has something to hold on to and know that her daddy, through thick and thin, through good and bad, that her daddy sacrificed so many ways, so many things. Um, and this isn't even about money at all. It just knowing that her daddy did does things to help others. And that's why I try to include her in letting her see and watch and some of the shows that we have that are subject appropriate because I want her to find her thing or things that make her feel good about herself. And I know she will. And I'm not going anywhere. I just want to share this with you that this is truly bigger than me. I could easily, we could have easily just shut down shop and said, oh, okay, I'm going to therapy. I'm doing what I need to do from the mental health side. And uh, I don't, we don't need to have an organization. We don't need to have platforms for people to share their stories or to share our own. It's always come back one way or another, small or big, that Voices for Voices is a movement. It's a positive movement. It's an uplifting movement. It's a sharing movement. It's a not be ashamed or not have a stigma movement. Voices for Voices is just like what it says. Voices for Voices. We speak for ourselves in the best way that we can, and our guests do the same thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless everyone across the world, on earth, in heaven. And thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home, to your earbuds, to your TV, to your iPads, Chromebooks, netbooks, however, and just know that you can always go to voicesforvoices.org/podcast, and you can find every single episode that we have dropped. And at the top, it starts with the most recent, and that's free. So we'll see you next time. Please be a voice for you or somebody in need, and let us celebrate the voices of everyone all across the world. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being with us today.